Beautiful people, how are we? In this training, we're going to talk about how to market your business online. I want to thank everyone for the emails and questions you've been sending in during this series. And I'm going to start with the questions first because I think that will end up leading into marketing your business online. A lot of the questions I got this go round were talking about how to solidify which particular business you should concentrate on if you have a couple ideas. So let me read the first question. This is from Alicia. Thanks for the question. She said she has a bunch of multiple business ideas online: self-publishing, writing, coaching, e-commerce for digital products. Question is, the niches for these are not really related, and my online presence is scattered and small. I also tend to hide behind the brands. I don't know what my personal brand would be, and if I'm doing so many unrelated things. Any suggestions? So now I don't have any suggestions on what your personal brand should be. You have to kind of figure that out yourself. But I will say focus on one thing. And I would say focus on the thing that you enjoy the most, because it's really hard to try to commit to do a whole bunch of things well. You can half do a bunch of things, but if you really want to do or be in one industry and do it well, you're gonna need to focus. So you do have writing, self-publishing, which pretty much relate. But in coaching, if you want someone to work with you, you have to understand what type of value you're going to present in their life. And if you're all over the place and you can't get focused, it's really going to be difficult to convince people to work with you with something so intimate as coaching. So if you're saying you're coaching, saying, hey there, hey honey, how are you? If you're saying you're coaching for something you've already done, just figure out how you're going to provide value to the person in which you want to serve. I don't know if that really answered your question, but I can't personally tell you which one you should pick. Like, that's not fair. You have to pick that. But whatever you do, just pick one thing that you will feel comfortable committing a lot of time to. As much as online makes you think that you can have a business in 2 days and it's so easy, that's just not real life. Okay. So you're going to have to commit. Hey there, you're going to have to commit to a lot of time. And so whichever one gives you the most excitement, but as we'll talk later on in this, your audience is going to be key. So if you want to branch off after you've solidified your audience in one area and you've done that well, you can always push to other things. There's no problem with that. But at the beginning of this, just focus on one for me. I would say maybe not the coaching. I don't know what industry you're thinking about with the coaching. But if you've already self-published and you're writing, those two might be combined to have a good market for you. So I hope that's helpful. But when someone asks me personally what they should do, I can't tell nobody what they should personally do for their business because I don't know the people. So I'm hoping, since you've already self-published, just go ahead and look into that industry. So this is from Shabon. I'm hoping I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you so much for your warm email. I appreciate that. Question is how to create content when you have a variety of interests. This is a lot like the first one. And potential money-making ideas. How do you decide what to focus on? Should you narrow your focus first and then branch out, or keep to one topic strategy as you gain traction? Really good question. And the thing is, what we're going to lead into today. Okay, what we're talking about today is how to market online. And if you guys seen the beginning of this series, I really stress building your audience. And if you haven't met me before and this is your first time joining in and you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is part of a series that I'm doing probably into the middle of this month. It is currently June of 2021, I think is the year. So if you have any questions and you want to reach me personally, just go ahead, download the digital, that's not what it's called. What is it? Digital Nomad toolkit. I'm so raggedy. Anyway, so what I recommend that you do is whatever one you can create content for easily. And not meaning that is the task hard, but is the content that you would create for, is that part easy for you? How does that make sense? So let's say my examples be so random. Let's say I'm a fitness instructor, but I also like to bake. and I also breed dogs. Okay, so of that content, it's important to stick with one of those that you don't mind creating content for, because you're going to need to create a lot of content, not a lot, but you're going to have to create content in order to get people interested in you. And you can be one person and like all those things. And even look at my example. So I have a digital marketing company. I have a separate digital marketing YouTube channel, but my business is digital marketing, right? So I happen to move to Portugal. So majority of the story in which you all know me is my story of moving to Portugal and that process of getting my residency and that type of thing. And so now I'm here, I got it. So I still have a life, and I'm still this person who is interested in business and trading and all these other aspects of me. So I slowly, will introduce my audience to those things. If they care, cool. If they don't, then keep it moving. But ultimately, the content that I made initially was based on what I was trying to learn at the time. What is going on with my shirt? I'm sorry, y'all. It's Saturday. So what I made initially was the content that I needed at the time. So granted, I have a lot of interests, but I started with the one of the content that I would enjoy making. Does that make sense? And I hope that's helpful. So figure out if you had to make content for any of these things. And with my example with the fitness trainer who's breeding dogs, and I just can't deal with this. I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to get rid of it. Who's breeding dogs and also likes to cook. Whichever one of those forms of content that she could produce consistently, then that's the direction I would recommend going. And just look at some of the people that you may watch or follow online currently. Most people have a variety of different interests, but they started in one section. So you may follow some people who are fitness trainers, people who have, I don't know what y'all follow, whatever y'all follow, but it's probably one specific thing initially. And then you slowly get introduced to other things that may be interesting to them. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So we have a lot of these questions are people who have a lot of ideas and they're trying to figure out what direction to go. When it comes to online marketing, I mean, when I was going to come here and talk today, I was like, we could talk about Google ads, we could talk about Facebook ads and all that other stuff. But at the very beginning, what I wish someone would have told me is to build the audience. And you can take a lot of courses online. I'm sure I'll end up, providing, teaching some about how to do drop shipping, how to, make a course online, how to blog and do all those things. All of that, sadly, is irrelevant if you don't have an audience. So if you going and you taking these courses to build an online course, you don't nobody know about you, you're going to end up spending a lot of time learning this and to not be able to put it in practice immediately. And I've made these mistakes. Okay. I've been in this game for 20 years. So I've made these mistakes of attempting to try to, what I told you guys before, to avoid over researching and trying to make research override experience. So marketing yourself and your business, I'm not gonna lie, it feels icky. Okay. It's not the greatest thing. You want to focus on all these other things that feel like work, because those don't require you to put yourself out there. So you may focus on things that may not necessarily bring money into the door. So producing content is going to be one of the ways, because that's how people get to know you. People get to interact with you. People get to see how you would, demonstrate how you would be if they work with you. Those type of things are key. And particularly if you don't have the budget to do ads. But even if you do ads, you got to put content on the ad. You don't just put an ad up and it don't say nothing. Even if you put a video up, it got to say something. So if you're going to put a budget into marketing online, which I really don't recommend for novice, you just want to create content. And content does a lot of things. People are going to start to ask you questions, and then you can understand what people need. Like, that's basically what this series is about. Like, I've been doing this for so long that I may take things for granted because I know how to do it. But if someone's just starting out, I need you to tell me what you need to know, because I don't remember. I mean, I remember the stuff that I really struggled with, and that I'm trying to present that to you so you can consider it in your business. But ultimately, it boils down to letting people know you exist. Marketing is a numbers game. The more people know, the more deals you can close. But if you consider that your content is going to be your primers, your content is going to be, it helps your customers learn even if they should work with you. Like everybody ain't gonna love me. I already know that. Now I am a special breed that only certain people may tolerate. And even in video, you may gather that. And so hopefully no one will come to me. Well, we're in a different industry anyway, but no one will come to me that would think, oh, let me work with this person, even though I don't like her on video. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully those people wouldn't do that, but whatever. I see we have some questions. Hey, good morning, y'all. If you have any questions in the box, if you can do me a favor and just put a Q beside it so that I know that it's an actual question you want me to answer, and opposed to just communicating with other people in the chat. So if you want to send me a question, again, I'm going to attempt to do this. This is day 5, and I've learned so much from y'all. Y'all been sending me some beautiful emails. And if I haven't gotten to your email yet, please don't charge it to my heart. What is it? Charge it to my heart, not my head, or my head, not my heart. Anyway, just know I'm a little all over the place, but I'm reading every single one of them, and I appreciate you, all the kind words and that type of thing. But if it's something specifically that you have questions about in regards to your business and how to grow, just let me know, and we'll talk about it, and we'll bring it up during this content. I'll probably be doing this up until my attempt is to do this every day, probably around this time for some days. I'm scared to say it out loud, because if I don't commit all the way, then everybody gonna know. And that makes me nervous. So we have some questions. Do we have some questions inside? Okay. Hey, y'all. Thanks. Good morning. Oh, yeah, it's good morning. It's 3 p.m. over here in Portugal. Says, did you use a template for WordPress? I always use a template for WordPress. Yes. There's so much sponsored content sponsored by hosting companies like Bluehost, so I'm not sure how to proceed. I don't understand your question. If your question is, did I use a WordPress template? Yes. I always use a WordPress template. There's a place where you can purchase templates. I think it's called Envato, Envato, I think it is. I don't know what's on I would share my screen, but my whole thing is junky. We don't need to see that in real life. But yeah, Envato. If somebody could type that in chat, or someone could put the link in chat, we appreciate that. But yeah, Envato, you can purchase, or just Google WordPress templates, and whatever one. Here's a trick. Google WordPress templates, and then go to YouTube and type the template that you're interested in, and see if someone's done a tutorial. Because there's a lot of people who will take a template, and they'll spend the 2 hours to customize it. And you just follow what they do, and you'll have a website by the weekend. But check Envato, see if there's anything good there. Envato has good stuff if you want video, templates, After Effects. Like, they just have a whole bunch of good stuff over there. So check out Envato.com. Yeah. And then go to YouTube, type in the template that you're interested in, and see if anyone's done a tutorial. I mean, when I first, because I don't do websites really. But if I have to do one for my project, then I don't pay people to do it because it's my project. For my clients, I just send it to people. But what was my point? I'm sorry, y'all, it's live and my trains crash easily. Yeah, so just go to YouTube, type in one, and whichever one had a full tutorial on YouTube that was like 2 hours long, because that's basically how long it'll take. That's the one I would buy. So yeah, just use a template. I think I answered your question. If I didn't, I wasn't all the way sure what it was. Okay. Above was a question. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Got that. Everybody. Oh, you're so sweet. Makeda. Hey, baby. How are you? Okay. I'm working on an e-commerce site and not sure if I should start with Instagram or just jump into paid advertising on YouTube and Google. Good question. Let's bring this up. Can you put in the chat what your industry is? Working in e-commerce. So here's the thing. Remember, if you guys haven't seen, I think the first one or the second day, Instagram. Here's the thing: all the advertising platforms or social media platforms operate differently. They all have their own ecosystem. So you have to decide which platform stresses you out the less, to be honest. Don't try to do everything on a bunch of different platforms. It's going to be hard. Okay. So whichever one you feel like you want to work. Now, for me, I'm always going to push clients toward a intranet type of feature versus an internet type of feature versus an intranet platform. So if you remember, I was talking about your Facebooks, your Instagrams, and things of that nature are in intranets, whereas Google, Quora, Pinterest are kind of related more to the intranet internet, because you can just go to the website without logging in. When someone has to log in to see your content, a lot of times the person who owns the platform, in this case, Facebook is famous for this. They will shadow ban people. They will limit the amount of people who have been seeing you in the past and limit it so that they want you to pay for ads. Understand, because of the ecosystem of Facebook, their whole goal is to make money off of ads. And so as the economy starts to change and maybe advertising dollars are spent differently, in order for you to see the audience that you built, Facebook is going to make you pay to do that. They've been like that for, forever. And now that Facebook owns Instagram, it owns WhatsApp. So now I'm getting crazy messages from WhatsApp from people I don't know. So I'm gonna get off WhatsApp. I digress. But so when you consider how Facebook operates versus how a YouTube operates, so YouTube is based on Google. Google owns YouTube. So it's a lot of keyword focused information. And if the engagement is good on your videos and your content, YouTube will put people in their face. Like your content, when you don't necessarily have to pay for it, YouTube will put them in front of you. And that's how you go viral on YouTube based on the content. So to answer your question, I know we're talking about e-commerce. It depends on the industry, and I'm hoping you added that. But Instagram in this current day and age is a little harder to get an organic audience. I'm sure some of you now may have had Instagram for a while and you still may be sitting on 200, 300 and really having a difficult time. This is going to drive me crazy. Really having a difficult time as to how to grow your audience. And it can be a challenge. And full disclosure, I grew my Instagram audience from YouTube. As you can see, when I put stuff up, I have my Instagram channel places. So if people were interested in going on Instagram, they can go ahead and do that. But listen, if I had to grow organically on Instagram, it just would have been super, super difficult. I am biased. I'm always going to tell you to work with a platform that is an internet base and SEO base. Now, if you have a clothing store or something super, super visual, Instagram would work, but so would Pinterest. And Pinterest is more of a internet-based type of structure. So granted, people do have to log in to see Pinterest. However, Pinterest information does come up in search. So I know there's plenty of times you probably search for something and a Pinterest information will come up even though you're not logged in. That is rarely the case with Facebook. Rarely the case with Instagram. So I hope that is helpful. Okay, let's see. Did I answer? Okay, put the Qs. If you're just now joining us, if you can put a Q for your question so I know that it's a question. And if you want to submit your question to me in email, go ahead and download the digital Nomad toolkit. That's the word I could think of. And the description is in the bottom. And also, if these videos are helpful, guys, help me out, like it, and share it with people. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what we doing. I'm sorry, y'all. The system is working on. Okay, got that. Is day trading still your main jam, or content creation becoming your primary job? I don't know why y'all so worried about how I make money, but I still day trade. Yes. In regards to percentages, it doesn't matter. But I do both. I still have my digital marketing company. I day trade. I have a bunch of different sources, which I recommend that everyone does, because if you've heard my story, I've lost everything before. And I had maybe 2 forms of income, but both of them were related to the market. So I was in real estate and I was day trading. And then I had, the contracting company. So all of that kind of got crazy. But now my whole goal is to make more of my money online with products and teaching and coaching and that type of thing, in addition to trading, just so I don't have to be ever in any particular place. So when I was in real estate, I had to be there because some dumb would happen. And I would have to do things. So since then, I've transitioned out of that. But I don't know why I get so many questions on my breakdown on my income, because that's really nobody's business. Physical products. What specifically, baby? Like, you know how many things could be a physical product? You got to give me something more than that. Are we talking like makeup? Are we talking clothes? Are we talking about hardware tools? So tell me something other than physical products. Okay, yes, so true. They push paid content first. Absolutely. Anything Facebook related, that is what they're going to do. You made it to the live, honey. Welcome. Question. Here we go. Are you in? So let's see. Okay, you may have answered this already. What is the best way to grow your email list for a new e-commerce business? Selling art and home decor items. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so if you are selling some home decor, people love images, and I would recommend that you show people how to use the home decor you sell to spice up their bathroom, kitchen, whatever. Like, start to search what are the rooms that people want to like do makeovers for, and I haven't looked, so you do that research and find that out. Like, is it bathrooms? Is it making over kitchen? Is it, figure out what that is and start to create the content that shows how you can change the whole space using some of the things that are in your e-commerce store. And then if they're interested in purchasing it, there's your link. But show people how they're going to use your product. Show how your product can change that look. Like, just demonstrate to your customer what things will look like, and give them ideas and tips. So ultimately, if somebody is looking for art or home decor items, they are trying to, breathe life back into a space. So give them advice, have them download tips to, budget tips. I'm not sure what your target audience, price range is, but if it is budget tips or something like that, give them some tips that they can do to make their space look nice on a budget with the items that you sell. And that's the easiest way to do it. Should create content that demonstrates what you sell. Even if you were selling clothes, have yourself or your family put the clothes on, show how it looks on a real person, and opposed to it just, standing up or looking at a picture. But yeah, just show how it moves when you sit down. Does it gap? All that other stuff that we care about when we're buying, especially things online. So I hope that was helpful. All right. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. You're welcome, love. Let's see. How do you utilize keyword SEO? The question is too bit general. So when you use keyword, in a short answer, you utilize keywords for SEO by making sure that whatever you're trying to rank for, those keywords are in your content. That's a short answer. But to answer how SEO works is not something I can answer in a quick statement. So if I understand your question correctly, the way you use keywords is the keywords are put into your content because that is what you rank for. If you want Google to understand your content is about a certain thing, that is what the keywords are going to help determine that. And you would need enough content for Google to care, because if you have just one form of content with just, let's say you are trying to rank for, I don't know, it's random how these gymnastics. Why did that come to my head? Let's say somebody was trying to rank for that in regards to gymnastics gear. I don't know. Why did I? Anywho, then you would need more content that's using that keywords, and enough content, enough quality content that people are staying on it, and that increases your engagement, so that Google can now say, oh, I guess this person's content is about this. So if someone searches for these key terms, I'm assuming I should send them there. And when Google does send them there and people stay there for a while, then it tells the algorithm, okay, this might be a good look. Let me raise it on the page. So that's the short answer of what you're asking. But yeah. What products and methods do you what methods do I use in my hair? Eco Styler gel and whatever creamy product I can get my hands on. Let's see. Okay, dear Cinnamon, what would be the best products to sell online to make $2,000 US per? All right, folks. So I'm not that person. I'm not the person that's going to pull out some random thing for you to go make money. I'm the person that you find out what you're good at or what you plan on getting educated on and how to market that talent. Just picking some random thing and say I want to make $2,000, your head is in the wrong place. Okay, you got to figure out how you're going to provide value based on whatever you do, because it's work to get people to either buy your product or commit to your brand or sign it. Like, that's work. And if you're doing it because like I want to hurry up and make this money, your head's in the wrong game, because you're not going to think this through well. So I'm sorry. I know there's people on YouTube that could tell you you can make $3,000 drop shipping tomorrow and then people to buy their course. I'm just not that girl, so I can't answer the question for you like that. What I am going to say is you find what you're interested in, what your hobbies are, what you can teach someone how to do, and stay in that lane, create content, and then pitch that way. So sorry about that. Not going to be able to answer that. Okay. So if we don't have no more questions, then I'm out of here. Again, there's a link in the description. Download that and you can email me your information. Also, if I have any questions or I need to change some things during this time that I'm going to spend with you guys, that's the way that you'll be able to connect with me. So tomorrow, based on the questions you send me, I will focus on the questions you send me and create the content from that. And just so we clear, how to market your business online, I just want to make sure that I'm making myself clear as to how to do that. My recommendation: create the content. You have to build the audience. In order to build the audience, you need the content. And if you think about, like, I know people want to jump to something real quick, like Google ads and Facebook ads. And it's not that those things aren't effective. But what you have to remember when you're doing things online, you got to get super, super specific, because all of the cybersphere needs to know who they should be sending to you. And if you're not clear online and you go super, super broad, you're going to have a hard time building an audience. Like you will struggle. So find out what you want to do, not what somebody is telling you online randomly that you can make all this money tomorrow. Like, if that's what your mindset is, you're not going to do well on this online thing. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I want you to find what you're interested in, what you know how to do, any hobbies, like just even peruse online right now. There are people making income based on what they enjoy doing. And that's more of the life that I want for you versus you running on every next trend. And it's a lot of trends that's out here. Like, drop shipping, of course, is cool. If you got an audience, it's great. If you don't have an audience, you are going to struggle. So I want you to build that first. Even if we say, okay, we're going to do Facebook ads, we're going to do Google ads, we're going to do whatever ads. When you send people to do whatever it is you want them to do, they're still going to need content to want to just give you money. Strangers don't just meet. I mean, there's some out there, which is unfortunate, but strangers really just meet people on the internet and be like, I just want to give them my money for no apparent reason. It's not really how it works. And you have to develop that relationship, and content can do that for you. And it can automate the process for you so that it's more effective. You know what I mean? Like, I really want you to kind of walk with me on that. Okay, so we got a couple more questions. Let me answer this. Okay. How do you convince people to purchase workshop or non-physical content? How do you make it unique enough? So you have to show value. Why should somebody, if you can't tell your customer why they should buy your product versus someone else, then you got a different issue. You can't just say, I want a workshop because I want people to give you money. Well, why the hell would people give you money? Like, what are you giving them? How are you adding to their life? What are you making easier? What problem are you solving? Do that, demonstrate that, and then people can decide if they want to work with you. But don't just take the motivation. And I know people say this, and I know when people want to make money, they don't want to hear this, but you got to take the motivation out. Oh, I want to make some money. But you ain't even valuable yet. Like, you just out here wanting to make money and you give no value to no one. Like, how do you think that works? That does not work. So you have to figure out, what do you have to do? Do you have to get certified? What do you have to do to provide value to the audience in which you serve? Like, you can't come in this selfish, y'all. Y'all gotta come in like be giving and be something. What am I talking about? All right, what we got here? How do you decide how much your budget should be for advertising for digital marketing business? Here's the thing. I know it's hard for me to give a blanket answer on that. For my digital marketing company, most of my clients who work with me, and I don't work with solo entrepreneurs. In my digital marketing company, they already know what the customer's long-term value is. When you know that, you can have a better idea as to how much you want to spend to acquire a customer. When you're a smaller business owner and you don't know that, it's a bit difficult when you're paying money for ads. You just out here winging it. You just out here spending money, and you can end up being in a bad way. And so here's one of the mistakes that I see a lot of smaller businesses do. They will run ads, but not have a clear strategy as what they want to happen when the person either comes to their website or comes and gets their product. So you're still paying for these ads. So let's say you get an extra, 3,000 people to come. Now what? Is your website organized in such a way that it's going to convert or close the deal? If it's not, you just wasted your money, and it's not going to be a good look. So what I would prefer is for you to focus on the content that they get once they get there. And even when you are doing ads, in order to do a Google ad, you need content. In order to do a Facebook ad, you need content. In order to do any ad on social media, you need content. Anybody guessing the theme here? It's all about content. So if your content is good, people just think about the people that you like. You like them because their content is good, because you like what you see. So I don't really want to push y'all in. If this was a different audience, I would say that. But from the comments and the questions you guys are giving me, I feel like a lot of people are in the beginning stages. So if you're in the beginning stages, I'm just really not going to recommend ads unless you already have content in whatever, whether it's your website or whether it's your Facebook page or whatever, that when someone lands there, they can binge watch. Like, they can binge watch what you had to be like, okay, cool. I think I want to work with them. Or I think I want to buy this product. Or I think, you know what I mean? And people are starting to get, even for e-commerce, people are starting to get hip to the game, because there's a lot of these companies out here that'll take your money and send you some garbage in the mail. And so people really want to make sure that things are reputable, and you want to show that, particularly if you're just starting off. So I hope that answers your question, love heart. Thank you, hon. Okay, what we got here? How do you utilize collaboration to grow your audience? How do you find people to collaborate with? What is the effective form of collaboration? Listen, folks, all of this is going to boil down to your content. And if you've proven that someone should want to work with you, if somebody randomly wants to collaborate with me, and then I go to their stuff and they haven't done any work, like they hadn't created an audience, they hadn't tried to communicate with their audience, they hadn't shown anything, they're not helping their audience, I'm not gonna want to collaborate with you. Not at all. And I probably won't even have the time to respond back to any DM or messaging, because as you're trying to build your audience for yourself and you're creating content and you're building your audience, you need to protect your audience. You know what I mean? So I don't attempt to, anytime I try to bring somebody in front of you, I'm hoping that either their experience can help you, or they can teach you something, or there's some benefit there, because ultimately that's my audience and I'm going to, look out for them. So if you want to collaborate with someone, yet you haven't done the work, all this is going to boil down to, you got to do the work. No matter if you want to make the money, you got to do the work. If you want a relationship with someone who has the audience that you want, you got to do the work. And don't dare come to people and start asking them for stuff when they don't even know you. Like, every time in my DM, I would say I get probably 300 DMs a week of people asking me for stuff. Any idea how freaking annoying that is. But then you have a population of people like, okay, I want this. What can I help you with? Or, so just folks, you can't go to people being self-centered just in your life. Like, just don't do it. Like, just don't. It's not going to serve you well. If you out here with this whole holding on to whatever spirit and this real selfish spirit, that could be a reason why you're struggling. But if you can go to someone and you want information from them, at least look like you did your homework first. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never been anything I wanted to do in life that I didn't go research first and then go to the person who I respect in that industry and say, hey, I really whatever, and say, make a very specific question. Because a lot of times, even when it comes to trading, some people will ask me, well, how do I trade? Like, what am I supposed to do with that question? Like, that's almost going to like a doctor and saying, how does this doctoring work? Like, they'll be like, what do you like? Ask a specific question, but you had to get a little bit educated to say, okay, I want to trade, let's say, options, and I want to do it on the indices, and I'm having issues figuring out what the delta is. See how that question is completely different than, how do I trade? So whatever it is you want to do, get somewhat educated on it first, particularly if you want to collaborate with someone. If you want, just show a little initiative. Because if you're trying to come to somebody who hustles and they grind and they work hard and you just did no research and you want to work with them or you want them to help you, like, good luck. Yeah, good luck. That's not going to go over well. So I hope I answered your question. The answer is just show your worth, the collaboration. If you're not, show it, get on it, and then worry about collaboration. Make sure that your stuff is good. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, utilize. Okay, we did that question. That's done. It is daunting. Do it anyway. It's daunting. Do it anyway. Okay, you've got to give first. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Sandra, how are you, love? Okay, exactly. Put the work in. Do your own research. Yes, read the book, read the blog post. If you want to go to, please buy the people product. Like, do something. Don't just show up with your hand out. It's not gonna go well. Okay, let's talk. Sandra Boo, how are you? Thank you for doing these live sessions. Absolutely, love. I need to be reminded that I need a second revenue stream in these crates. Girl, we need about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Things are going to get kind of crazy. And at some point, not this summer, I will be taking the summer off. I'm going to do a training on multiple sources of online income. But since we're talking about how to market your business, which is somewhat related, this whole digital nomad lifestyle that I really want for you all, I don't care where you all live. You can live in Portugal, wherever you want to live. I don't care. What I want is for you to have the freedom to go and do and be where you want. And a lot of that works when your businesses are online. And I think that was probably one of my major mistakes when I first jumped into entrepreneurship. And of course, I didn't know that at the time, but it limited me. I couldn't travel. I was working hard. It was a lot. And then again, like after losing everything and having to start back over, I was like, man, I could have just lived my life. So what I want is that you can operate in the greatness that you possess. And you may not feel your greatness because, God, I didn't for so many times. You may not feel your greatness at the moment, but whatever it is, whatever you've learned how to do, whatever your testimony is, some of you, like you've gone through, I don't know if Marissa is here because I'm ready for her to come out and tell her story and start doing some things. But some of the times, the bad things that happen to you in life, and I know this sounds so cliche. Don't we hate this? Like, oh, there's always a lesson in it. But like it's real. I think if I didn't lose everything, and I also had like people in my space and my energy that they weren't worth knowing me. And I think they were around for the ride. And I wouldn't have been able to see that if I hadn't lost anything. or lost everything. And so I was able to see that, and I was able to immediately get rid of those people with the quickness. And I'm Aquarius, so if you don't act right, I'm real. It's not hard for me to be like, good night. So if that was worth the lesson. And then the thing that you have to remember is that the qualities and the skills that you have still stay with you. They don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? So regardless of how your world changes, who you are internally, that just strengthens. And you'll learn to build on that. And I went on a tangent because I meant to tell y'all about the multiple sources. See, this is why y'all can't do me live, because I will just not be focused. But the whole point is, so when you think about your online business, you can start off with your product. And even those of you in your service business. So let's say if you're an accountant, you probably have clients that you're working with. But there's probably some clients that are across the pond, around the world, that could use your expertise that you may not be able to work with in person. But even as an accountant, you want to go super, super specific. So let's say you're an accountant for restaurant owners. If I'm a restaurant owner and you're an accountant that works with restaurant owners, and you're producing what? Content that talks about certain things that restaurant owners should consider when they're doing their taxes, I'm going to be like, maybe I need to look into this person. But if you never created any content, no one would know that that's what you do. And they definitely wouldn't know that online. So guys, I know I keep running back into this content because there is a common theme. I have a digital marketing company. And when customers come to me, I'm like, do you already have content? Because if they don't, then they have to pay my crew to create content for them. And that's substantially more expensive. But if you have content already, all we have to do is position you all over the internet. But if you don't have content, it's a struggle. So I'm telling you that the content is so important, because even if you don't have the budget to market, if you're producing the content, what you have in your pocket, this phone is a television broadcasting system. You can go on YouTube, create your own TV show, create your own commercial for free. Okay. So there's no reason why you shouldn't have any content, but that is really what is going to put you out there so that people can see you. These are breadcrumbs. These are seeds. You plant seeds. And you know, I'm always talking about that. And it doesn't grow immediately. If anybody's out here and they feel like I'm gonna give you something that you gonna make $1 million tomorrow night, like that's not who I am. And that I don't even know who's saying that. And you should be concerned if they are. Okay. You have to protect your brand before collaborating with someone. I agree wholeheartedly. Makeda, how are you, love? I know you mentioned becoming Google certified before. Yes. But do you suggest formal training to learn digital marketing? I want to learn, but the program I saw is 8 G's. Hold on. Did you miss the part where I said that Google is free? All of Google's training is free on Google. No, $8,000. Hold on. Maybe, no. So listen, if you want to get certified on Google Analytics, if you want to get certified on Google AdWords, video, shopping, all of this, look at me, people, is free. Google provides the education and they provide the exam. Okay. Just Google it. And Makeda, you know me. So just hit me up. Again, folks, if these videos are helpful, please share it so other people, it can touch their soul, and hopefully they will it was something on my screen. Squirrel, I tell you, I get distracted. So just Google what is it? Google Analytics certification, but make sure that the root of the domain is google.com. Don't go to somebody else who's going to teach you or try to teach you somebody's class where Google has information free. No. I would recommend for my small business owners that are listening to me, go ahead and just read over that stuff as well. You don't have to know everything, but let's say you want to hire someone to do, run some ads for you. If you know a little bit about it, you're able to hire a better person. Most of the time, like with businesses, people think digital marketing is like this magical dust in the sky that does something with their business. Like it's not rocket science, guys. But if you don't, anything you're going to hire somebody for, in my opinion, just learn a little bit. So at least when you're talking to the person that you hire, if you don't want to do it yourself, then at least you sound like an educated person and people won't, you know what I'm saying, get over on you, you know? So go ahead, check out Google Ads anyway, just so you get an idea. But if you want to get certified, Google provides it. It is free. I don't know. 8,000. No, 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 it's free. It's free. Hope that was helpful. Yes, Aquarius. Serena, we are problems in the world, honey. They not ready. Okay. 42 watching, only 25 likes. I know that's petty. Tell them, Sandra. Do I have what? 25 likes and there are 42 people watching? Don't be petty like that. Y'all better give me some love and share this. Okay. Somebody may always feel better after watching. Oh, thank you, Serena. I appreciate that. So, guys, I'm also oh, cool, Ken. I'll be here tomorrow. Same bat time, I think. If you want to send me questions specifically about your business, to those of you for, again, all your sweet emails, I really appreciate you. Just download the digital Nomad toolkit at the bottom of the description, and we'll chat through that. And if I have to change the time or whatever, you guys will send emails, because you know I'm doing this off the cuff on the fly. I'm gonna stick with free Google. Yeah, that lady told me 8Gs yesterday. Oh, girl, no, love. Baby, what are you doing? How that man say it? No. It's free on Google. Anything like that. Okay, Chris. Yes, I got all Aquarians in the house. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, that was fun, guys. Because I didn't know what I was gonna come up here and talk about. I mean, I knew I was gonna talk about how to market your business online, but I hope people feel a little bit enlightened and that wasn't a gotcha. So create the content. That's overall what I'm gonna say. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till next time.